Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to a daily update of my 1000 days challenge. This is day 37. So yeah, let's get started. Let's get things started. Alright, so for today I'll actually just be doing a very quick review on Bitcoin. As you can see, yesterday was another sort of a little drop itself, but I'm just looking at the weekly chart because the weekly is going to close by today, by tomorrow I would say. So alright, so looking at the daily chart itself, you can see on the weekly chart itself, you can see that overall what I mentioned previously, it was a clear break above this downslope trend line region. So right now it seems that the breakout has taken place and a retest is potentially happening right now. So even though it's a very sharp drop, you do see that volume isn't as strong as the initial breakout phase. So that is a sign that is some sort still considered a healthy kind of pullback rather than a sharp, like a bearish transition, like a transition to bearish state per se. Alright, so there's some sign of a volume, but you do see some sign of exhaustion over here. There's a decrease in volume as prices go up. So yeah, so further retracement could potentially happen as well. Alright, but more on the daily chart. Okay, so moving on the daily chart, what you do see over here is very simple. Like what I mentioned, finally has transited to technically a bearish market structure, even though technically over here got a high, a lower high, a low region, and a lower low. But if you look at the closest market structure, this is where you see a high, a lower high, a low, and a lower low. So over here, even though you can see that this has actually closed slightly higher, 10167 versus 10160, but yeah, so potentially it could bounce up to form a higher low per se tomorrow. So yeah, right now I would say I will still stick to, if you're trading on a 4-hour and daily time frame, I'm still waiting for further consolidation. As you can see over the X, I've updated. Bearish market structure remains strong in terms of the trend because price is very much above the 200 simple moving average still. All right, and moving on to the 4-hourly chart, what you do see is that it has also transited from a bullish to a bearish market structure. So yesterday I did enter a short, but that was just on a different time frame, meaning to say I'm actually currently experimenting with shorter time frame as well, because generally on a day-to-day basis, because I have a full-time job, I only trade on a 4-hour and daily time frame. So yesterday I saw a good opportunity on a 1-hour time frame. I decided to enter. So that's using just half the risk, instead half the RR or half the risk compared to my usual trade position size. So yeah. So just to give you an idea of what happened or what the thought process was, basically on the 1-hour chart, I was saying that it was making, over here it was the bullish market structure the day before, or yesterday. And once I see over here, it was a lower high and finding resistance at the 20 exponential moving average. So upon a crossover of this 20 exponential, a breakdown of this. So I saw that even though it was going to this region whereby previously it was heavily supported, it wasn't supported over here. And then after this candlestick, I saw a transition in terms of the MACD-wise downwards. So that's where I enter a short over here. With a type stop loss over here, just below, above the 20 exponential moving average. And then I only targeted a 1:1.6 kind of risk to reward setup. So I actually took profit very quickly. So yeah, I am not intending to ride, even though this could further go towards the downside, simply because on the 1-hour chart, when I don't trade consistently, I typically just go for a swing trade. Only for setup whereby I do go for it consistently on a particular pair where I go for trend following or yeah, trailing stop loss kind of setup. So yeah, so do bear that in mind, it's very different. And the rationale or reason behind it is mainly because of the consideration of risk to reward and the win rate behind it. So when I go for swing trade, I understand that the the win rate is definitely going to be higher. So this is more on my favor whenever I'm taking inconsistent kind of trade, whereby I saw a nice trade setup on the discretionary point of view, then I will go for a swing trade. On the other hand, if I'm trading a particular pair, say for example Bitcoin consistently with a more consistent structure per se on a 4-hour and daily chart, I will go on it on a more consistent basis. So yeah, so for those kind of instances, I will set a trailing stop loss instead. So trailing stop loss has a tendency whereby you will give back your profit. So for example, here if I didn't take the profit, it could have retraced all the way back and would have hit my break even the very next hour itself. So that is something to bear in mind as well. Yeah, that's why they mentioned that there's many different ways to manage your trade even after you have entered it. and how you manage it really depends on how you intend to trade the pair itself. And yeah, basically the tendency for the pair, there are basically a lot of considerations to go through. And if I were to talk about all of it, it probably would take like 10-20 minutes on the video itself. But yeah, I hope you get the idea of it. If you have any clarification that you'd like to ask, just feel free to drop down comments below. And yeah, I'll be more than happy to share. All right, so at the moment, you can see that price is still remain majority below the 20 exponential moving average. So things still looks a little bit bearish, although things have picked up in terms of the MACD itself. So if it does transit back to bearish market structure, considering I would potentially looks to short as well. But of course, it seems like it could be building up over here to break up higher as well. So yeah, ideally, I want to see on the 4-hour chart because this is where I mainly trade. So I'm still waiting for retest on this 20 exponential moving on the 4-hourly chart before making any decision on my main trading portfolio per se. Otherwise, in terms of investment wise, I do see a potential that you could potentially be adding some small position, which I am a little bit less aggressive in that sense because I got a bulk of my position in Bitcoin already. But if you haven't yet to enter, then this would be a good point to add because I do see this bullish divergence on the 4-hourly chart only. So you see this low and the lower low, but you see this low and a higher low instead on the MACD. So you do see a decrease in volume as well over here as time goes by. Generally, the trend has been going down. So the red bar, you can see they are generally going down except for this. So down, 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 decreasing. So it do show that there's decreased selling momentum in that sense. So I do see potentially the short sellers could actually be taking profit in addition to the bulls could actually be entering back in once they see that there's a decreased momentum. So these two, when adds together, could have a bullish break towards the upside as well. All right, but bear in mind that on the daily chart, you still get this strong bearish momentum. But similarly over here, even for this last drop, you did not see a bearish momentum or bearish divergence on the MACD on the daily chart, and it was only exhibited on the 4-hourly chart. So right now, I do lean towards the 4-hourly chart accuracy. You can see over here, whereby prices was making higher high, and you will see over here that it was actually making lower low generally after this peak. So after this peak over here, it actually make a higher high, but it makes a lower low. And then, yeah, so things didn't really pick up in terms of momentum, even though price was going higher. So that is what they mentioned, a bearish divergence per se. All right, so otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.